It's very easy to fall in love with the idea of just being. There's a certain kind of simplicity in that which seems very powerful to us. And I would certainly include myself in the group of people who are fascinated by the statement of just being. It seems to us that since our ordinary lives are so complicated, at least awakening, our spiritual practice, should be very simple. And in that sense, we want a kind of relief from all this conceptual analysis which we are otherwise involved in. We think that the truth of awakening somehow must be very simple. It somehow must come down to just being. And that's not essentially wrong, but it's very easy to fall into a certain kind of trap there. We can have the idea that if I'm just sitting here, being relaxed, just being, so to say, then that is, in a sense, equivalent with awakening or with a spiritual insight or with abiding within a recognition of true nature. But as a matter of fact, when we try to do that, when we try to just be, what is much more likely to happen is that we fall back into our habitual way of orienting to our experience. So we are very accustomed to viewing the world and viewing our experience through a particular kind of lens. And that lens usually is defined by taking phenomena, so everything that the outside world consists of and everything that my body seemingly consists of, we take that to be existing in a very concrete and real sense. We give these phenomena a self-nature. And in that sense, our habitual way of seeing and experiencing ourselves and the world is very much marked by delusion. We are deluded in the way we are perceiving, we could say. And so when we have this idea that just being is enough, we are kind of fooling ourselves. Because if we try to do that, if we try to just be, so to say, all that will usually happen is that we will fall back into this identifying way of looking, where we take everything to be these concretely limited, identifiable objects. And we therefore just fall back into this deluded way of seeing the world. But nevertheless, there is a certain kind of wisdom in the statement that just being is very profound. And on this channel, you will hear me talk a lot about the fact that relaxation is key to awakening. So that very much sounds like just being is the thing to do. That's the path forward. But the thing is that this is only true if our relaxation is synonymous with the recognition of our true nature, this spacious, vast, interconnected awareness. When we recognize that, it is very much a kind of relaxation of our clinging. It is a opening up to, a relaxing into this already established vastness, which is totally intimate with experience. And when we know how to do that, so to say, when we can recognize this spacious awareness, then just being becomes something totally different. We now have the option of just being this spacious awareness and then work from there. Explore our experience from there. And this is only available after we have had this recognition of this awareness. So if previously we were just accustomed to this fixated, identifying way of looking, then we have, so to say, upgraded to a different way of being. Just being now all of a sudden is actually an option. But in a sense, it's a different way of looking, it's a different way of experiencing. So while I do appreciate simplicity, and that is very much one of my main approaches to spirituality, we could say, it's nevertheless true to say that we can be simple in the wrong way. If simplicity means our usual way of being deluded and just being in this deluded way of experiencing, that simplicity isn't good enough. And we need to engage in some kind of upgrading first. But of course, it's not about making it more complicated. It's more so the case that once we have upgraded to this spacious awareness, then being, just being, actually becomes a real option, and one that brings profound peace and happiness, liberation, freedom, all that good stuff.